Yo, everybody. So this morning, I'm about to hop on a coaching call for my seven-figure, 20-hour week cash-based business model, super specialist in chronic pain. And I'm going to get on with the chiropractor. The chiropractor he's working, unfortunately, 6 days a week, but wants to get it down to 4 days a week, maybe five, he said, and do 600K. I think we can do more than that, but if you're happy, then if you're happy at 600K, 50,000 a month, then whatever, man. If you're happy, I'm happy type thing. And if you want to work 4 days a week, which you basically can, I work 5 days a week. And the reason why is because this doesn't work to me, this is fun for me, So, but plus I have all kinds of other things. I got a lot of balls in the air. I'm an inventor, etc. So this guy, he wants 600,000, so about $50,000 a month, and he wants to work 4 days a week. Here is the math. Okay, you're ready for it? All right. So once he learns my clinical methods, now remember, my hybrid business clinical course is there's no sales techniques, no workshops, no psychological operation, talking people how to use their insurance, none of that. Okay? Stay at home, play with kids, play video games, stop doing sales, stop doing workshops. The reason why is because these people have tried and failed everything type thing. They're not normal patients. Okay? So everybody's using sales techniques. Basically, dangle a carrot in front of them. Well, Mrs. Jones, we can get you back to picking up your grandkids, right? And hold a goal over there. No, I don't do that. What I do and teach is that, to be honest with them, okay, there's a lot of work, could take months. You're gonna have an hour of exercise to do a day at home that you have to do. If you're not willing to do it, don't sign up with me. And the reason why is because I don't want you to sign up with me if you are, if you're not going to do the work. I don't want you as a patient. Now, the reason why people are doing this is because you don't have a steady flow of patients, because you have competition. Objectively, I refer out 75% of people that come in here. 75% of people that come in here to another physical therapist in Tampa. I don't have competition. I'm treating a chronic and marketing to a chronic pain population that usually gave up going to doctors. They'll come in and tell you, tried physical therapy, chiropractic, injection, surgery, orthopedic surgeon, neurosurgeon, x-ray, MRI, massage, acupuncture is what they tell me, right? I call it the story, okay? Excuse me. Now, okay, the math to how to do this, okay? This is a game of probabilities. Once you're over the target market, which my marketing team works to get you there, once you're over the target market, it's a game of probabilities, okay? So it's almost like an actuary that can predict out of 1,000 people, X amount will have cancer, X amount will have heart disease, X amount will have diabetes. And they're pretty spot on. There's a whole profession behind this, right? So it becomes like that, which takes the stress out of it, okay? Every month for years and years and years, it's pretty much exactly the same. About 75% of people can't afford to do it, and 25% of people can. The 75% I refer out to a different physical therapist who does my methods and takes insurance. So everybody wins. And then the 25% I work with. Okay. Now, listen, here's the math. Okay. It costs $125 for someone to book on Facebook, Instagram. That's all I do. Facebook, Instagram. Google, not good for this business model. They're shopping. $125 to get someone just to book. $238 to get someone to come in, because there's about a 40% no-show rate. Okay. In fact, I send out auto text telling you to cancel if you don't fit certain criteria. Excuse me. And Then it costs $892 for someone to book. Okay, to someone to sign up. Excuse me. So 125 to book, 238 to show up because people book online. So there's a 40%, about a 40% no-show cancel rate, and then 892 for people to convert as a patient. Almost $900. So when I say you need a minimum $1,500 to be in this program, this is what I'm talking about. This is a very that's your biggest expense is marketing. Okay, but in order to charge a high premium, which is what I teach people how to charge, we work up to it. A lot of people are like, dude, I'm not comfortable charging, $6,000 or something like that for 7 sessions, and I'm like, no, I get it, man. So what we do is I work with you of what feels comfortable for you, okay, and then we work up as we go along, as you start to gain confidence, as you start to see how this game's played, and so anyway, so you're looking at about $900 to get someone to sign up, right? But it now people are like, dude, that's a lot of money, right? I said the same thing years ago. But would you let's say $900 that cost someone $892 to get someone to book in here. But I charge $6,500, but if you use a credit card up front, you get it's 6,000 care credit, 6,500 because they take that. Okay. Would you spend $1 to make 6? Yeah, you would, right? So if it was basically a mathematical certainty, like I feel it is in here, you do it, right? So I spend $590 a day on marketing. I have worked up from $50, $80 a day to 120, 150, 200, 250 to 590. Okay. So it's about $18,000 a month for me, man. For me. Okay. Not for everybody. We work up to it. You don't need $18,000 a month. Okay. But that's why I say $1,500 a month minimum to market. That's why. Okay. The math has to be there. Okay. So if you were going to spend, let's say we start off at, most people do 3,000 packages, but let's say 4,000 plan of cares, right? Let's say $4,000. If I asked you to spend $900 to make $4,000, would you do it? Yeah, you would do it. Okay. So now that's $4,000 for one patient once a week treatment. So a half hour. Okay. If I ask you to spend $1,600, right? Or so, 1,700, we'll say, to make $8,000, would you do it? To work 1 hour a week? Of course you would. Okay. So now you're doing $8,000 a month, right? So you're doing $8,000 a month. So you're getting close to $100,000 a year with 2 patients a month. Okay. Do you see where I'm going with this? How you go from 7-figure, 20-hour, how you go from working like this chiropractor I'm about to get on a coaching call with? Do you see how this works? He's working 6 days a week, slaving away in his chiropractic clinic. We're going to switch up his marketing and targeting. He's going to start bringing people in. And for his goal, which I think he can do more, but for his goal of $600,000 net, which he should, it's about 40% overhead, give or take. So 240, we'll say. So if it's 240 is his overhead, yeah, 120, 240. So let's say you take off for 360. Nice math, right? 360. So let's say you take off 240. So now he's netting, taking home $360,000 a year. And at that point, he's probably working 15 hours a week, if my math is correct, seeing about 4 patients a day, 4.5 patients a day. $360,000 is seeing 4 patients a day. Now, people are like, dude, well, where are you getting people that are, the economy stinks. You should not, like, how is that happening? Right? Here's how it happens. These people, okay, I train people to be super specialists in chronic pain. Okay? These people are done shopping. This isn't like, oh crap, I hope this person next to me doesn't open a physical therapy clinic or a chiropractic clinic. They know they can't go there. They've tried. Okay? What essentially like a Lyme disease specialist, right? Like these people, doctors, Lyme disease doctors don't feel like they're competing with infectious disease doctors. Those patients have gone to infectious disease doctors only to get antibiotics or dismissed, right? They'll tell you that if you ask them. They've told me that. Or a long COVID specialist, right? Nobody even knows. But I got a doctor that has a 90% success rate with long COVID, and I paid him $6,500 upfront, never even talked to him. Because there was nobody that knew what was wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? So this is what this is, okay? Now, you are looking at, okay, 128, my numbers, 128 to get someone to book, 238 for them to show up because they booked online, 40% no-show rate, it's the same every month. And then just about the same every month. And then $892 for the person to convert. Now, want to hear something crazy? In 2024, all new people, nobody knew each other. Nobody knew each other. I posted it in my school group. Go to you can go to my website, Wealth Methods, but go to skool.com and go to my school group, type in Wealth Methods. You can see it right there. Okay. Now, in my school group, I posted my exact numbers. Okay. Get this. You ready for it? I told you that I can bank on this. In 2024, 144 people said yes. Guess how many people said yes in 2025? 144. Literally not close to the number, the exact number. The exact number. So when I tell you this is a game of probabilities, it's a game of probabilities. Okay. And which is pretty much the same in marketing, if you have a good marketing strategy. Okay. So that's how this works, man. This is not rocket science once I teach you it. Okay. So for this Chiro to make $600,000, to this Chiro to make $600,000, okay, depending on what his ad spend is, I'm thinking we need to get him up. We work up to it. I think most people don't have that kind of money to start, right? I didn't. So we get him up to, probably get him up to somewhere around $8,000 ad spend, $8,000 ad spend a month. Now, $8,000 ad spend, right, should get him about nine conversions. Now, depending on how much he charges. Okay. So if he charges like, $2,000, then that's $18,000 a month, right? Now, not what we're looking for, right? But if I can get him to $6,000, right? Now he's doing so now he's doing about 45,000. His goal is 50. So we're just doing rough math here, right? So now he's doing $45,000 a month, okay? Which is about 500 and so a year. So we probably need to get it up to $9,000 ad spend. We get it up to $9,000 ad spend. See the patient once a week for 30 minutes. Then he should be in and around 600,000, take home about 360,000. Okay. And he's working probably 15, 12 hours a week. Okay. And not only that, but he's not changing lives, he's saving them. These people tell me in here that they don't want to live anymore type thing. If they can't sleep, they can't do anything. They're in such chronic pain. They've been dismissed by the medical system. Nobody knows what's wrong with me type thing. And I teach you the clinical skills to be a super specialist in chronic pain. You have to relearn. I would teach you clinical skills and then the business model. Okay. And that's how we get to 7-figure, 20-hour a week cash-based practice. Okay. All right. Other than that, I got to get on a coaching call. By the way, okay, all of you are going to say this is ridiculous, Ryan. Okay, I'm an inventor. So when I start looking at things, I start asking myself why this is and like what can we change. Baseball is 140 years old. They put a pitch count because it's boring as anything. I played it. I loved it. It's boring as anything. So they put a pitch counter because people were tired of just sitting there waiting for 3 hours for this game to continue, right? Okay, soccer, football as the world calls it, okay? That needs a shot clock. I've sit at probably 2 to 4 soccer games a weekend for years, youth soccer games. It needs a pitch count. I mean, a shot clock, like a minute and a half. Someone has to take a shot. No more just walking around and kicking the ball like like they do around the perimeter. Okay, um, so it needs a shot clock, and nobody should end in a tie. It's a competition. Why are we ending in ties, man? Oh, it's a point system, right? Man, if some team travels from another country to play another team, you got to end in a tie? No. In hockey, a skater comes on the ice and a goalie comes on the ice and they settle it. Who is the better team, right? I don't get it, man. It makes no sense to me. Other than that, that's my rant about soccer. But I got to get on this coaching call. Love you guys. Peace.